Hi, welcome to Juice Bar. Today we're gonna mix a 7th Heaven No.2. So the 7th Heaven No.2 is a classic cocktail by Harry Craddock. He appears in his Savoy Book of Cocktail. It features grapefruit juice, gin and maraschino, which just sounds awesome to me. The only problem with it is his measurements, being like 100 years ago, are a bit weird or off, I don't know. So let's try and recreate the recipe and let's check how much grapefruit juice we really need in this cocktail. So as the amount of grapefruit juice indicated for this cocktail is 2 tablespoons. 1 tablespoon technically should be 15 milliliters, but I'm not quite sure at the time of Harry Craddock was exactly the same amount. So I'm gonna squeeze a whole pink grapefruit. I'm gonna filter all the juice, and then let's see if the recipe described by Harry Craddock still work out in our world. One thing I'm gonna change right away is the amounts, in the sense that I'm gonna make a cocktail that's double the original amounts indicated by Harry Craddock, because those are super tiny. So we're gonna start with half an ounce of maraschino liqueur. You know me, I love my maraschino. Right, sometime I didn't have some maraschino. And then we go on with 30 milliliters of grapefruit juice, which should correspond to 2 tablespoons. And then we finish with gin. I'm using this Stranger and Sons gin. My wife was in India a few days ago and she brought back this gin, which I think is really good. It's a dry gin, but it has some character to it. The botanical listed on the back of the bottle, they sounds kinda conventional. Juniper, nutmeg, mace, coriander, licorice, angelica, Indus citrus peel, black pepper, cassia bark. I think the Indus citrus peels might be what makes the difference, because it has a kind of velvety, weird flavor to it. Anyway, this cocktail will normally be shaken, but Harry Craddock says to stir it. Let's try and stir it. And let's see where this thing gets us. Okay, 7th Heaven is something that is said in many languages, describing being at the top of happiness. Even in Italian we say essere al settimo cielo. But I was researching why 7th Heaven. Apparently it's from Islam tradition or the Kabbalah. So not a Christian stuff at all. Apparently the term emerged in the 18th century, and you gotta wonder why it's the 7th Heaven. We might be fine. And let's strain our 7th Heaven No.2. Harry Craddock instruct to decorate with mint sprig, so let's do that. And there you go, 7th Heaven No.2. Cheers! Perfectly fine. I was really worried this recipe had something wrong in it for the taste of our time, because all the recipe I found online, they were changing a bit the original Harry Craddock recipe. But this is fine, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly balanced. The grapefruit balanced the maraschino just right, and then you have gin. Nothing wrong with this. I think you might be careful on the type of grapefruit you use. If you use a white grapefruit, then maybe it's gonna become a bit too bitter. But with this pink grapefruit, this is perfect. It has a good amount of dilution. This gin works well. You could use even a more standard gin. I would think actually Hendrix will work well here. This is a really nice cocktail. Perfect for summer because it's refreshing and it's also not sweet. It's a bit bitter. I love this. No critiques. The mint on top smell nice. How did I not know this cocktail? Yeah, you could say it's a bit bitter. In that sense, you could add a tiny bit more maraschino or reduce a tiny bit the grapefruit, but I don't mind it. I like it like this. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, share with anybody you like and don't like. Steal yourself something with juice. Be a maverick. Do something weird. You know, because usually you're supposed to shake the cocktails with the juices. Anyway, doesn't matter. And hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers. So I was looking into Wikipedia for the sources of the seventh heaven, and I was like, how many heaven there were in Dante's Divina Commedia? And apparently there were 9 concentric circles plus 1, which makes either 9 or 10, depending how you count it. And I was just really taking a look at the Wikipedia page for Dante's Paradiso, and the hubris of this guy. On one side is justified because he wrote one of the highest achievement in human literature ever, but on the other side he is really giving a rating to everybody in history he knew before, like if they should go to hell or heaven or somewhere in between. He's really like giving grades, like, you know, like doing Yelp reviews, just giving this guy good 4 stars, this guy not so much 1.5, and he himself, he puts himself in paradise, of course, because of course. That's some cojones, as they say. Hubris. Do you say hubris? Hubris? Hubris. 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 Anyway, this cocktail was good.